Hello world, just giving another crack at trying to make this gunslinger work for me. I've used a microfiber cloth here instead of the sponge that came with it, 'cause it just gets so big when it's full of water that it's taking up more space than I'd want it to, and I can't get my washer down in there to so the water just keeps basically kind of building up in there until you got to pull your tools out and unclip it and squeeze the sponge onto your washer or something. But it's just it's something I need to deal with that I don't need to deal with my other holsters. My other holsters, I can just put it straight down the bottom and it'll reabsorb the water, and I've never had any water splash out. Even at the end of this video I quite vigorously shake mine and a little spray comes out of it, but nothing massive. It's not collecting enough water for it to be an issue, whereas the gunslinger is squeezing out that much water and letting it run over the top and down into that collection thing on every single time you put it in there, but it's just collecting more water in there than I want. I wouldn't say it was a massive issue, because it's possibly better than a plastic injected bob, except for the fact that it's a lot bigger and more cumbersome in my opinion. But yeah, obviously I would just rather use my rubber boot and avoid that problem completely. So yeah, it's good for putting your tools in and out of, that's for sure. I loved that from the first time I wore it. It's comfortable, I find, sitting on the side of me, but then I have issues squatting with it not staying where I want it to be. Did try it on my back, but then I've just got it, the end of it is right in the back of my leg, so then that starts to create more issues again. As you can see here, and I use a washer and a squeegee. A bunch of people are using, I guess, high flyers and the Mormon things and this and that, and you would probably not have that same issue possibly using them. I don't know, each to their own. I did have, when they were sort of first coming out, I made a DIY one which worked pretty well, but for me at the time I had employees working with me, so it was easier to just put a normal washer on the end of the pole in my employees' hands, get them to wet up the windows, and I'd come along and squeegee it. And I do find I can squeegee a lot quicker without the mop on the squeegee. And I'd noticed even who I'd call the best window cleaners I see on YouTube who use them, there's not much angle on their squeegee, and they're having to fan from side to side a lot of times. I wouldn't fan from side to side, I'll get it done in a third of the amount of motion. So for me, I actually don't believe there's many scenarios where the high flyer is really quicker, in my opinion anyways. But as I was saying, it's each to their own. And then with the standard washer and a separate squeegee, I can use both my hands, which has got a whole bunch of benefits for it as well. But this is not to be a video on really that. It's more just sort of comparing the gunslinger to my mudslingers, or even just a plastic injected bob. It's a fairly firm, cumbersome thing. It's got plastic polymer insides, so I fail to really see the major difference to it from a plastic bob. Just instead of having them average little slots to sort of put your squeegee into, it's got two big slots, but then it's longer, bigger and wider. So I'm at a loss. I really am at a loss. And I've tried it for hours. I've used it for hours. My first 1 hour job's the only job I actually completed with it on. Every other job I've ended up throwing it off, just like I've done at this job. And it weighs 630 grams, which probably doesn't sound like much. My rubber boot ones, the blue one weighs 380 grams, the black one weighs 490 grams. But then that's split across to either side, so both together is a little bit more weight, but it's spread out to either side of me, both hips. And like here you can see there's no clip on mine. I've never needed a clip. Haven't had any slosh problems. Here's where I get quite vigorous with it. It doesn't slosh out. And I do pour it out. You can see there's definitely water in it. I've been using a bucket and a sprayer, so my washer's been quite wet through the whole job. But I think it's definitely got potential. For me, it's not for me. It looks cool though, and they put a nice logo on the front of it. It doesn't look like it's going to last either. Like, there are little bits of stitching and glue which I don't need to put much force on, and it's already starting to sort of pull apart, and the stitching's not done very evenly. Like, if I went into a shop and I was looking at a pair of shoes for that price and that was build quality, I wouldn't buy it. I think it should just be a glossy finish on the outside, and I think I've seen that with the American flag ones, so I'd definitely be going for a glossy, smooth finish on the outside. I think it would wear longer and clean better. And just here at the end, look, I scrub down and up with my washer as I use two hands. This allows me to finish down the bottom. I've been noticing a few people do two hands and get caught up down the bottom of the window because they're trying to fan with their washer as well as their squeegee. Alright, looks like I'm out of narration time, so peace and love, world, and just mad respect, Richie A. It's just, I'm waiting for the smaller one. Okay, peace, world.